Interesting spawn. Well, let's check the inventory. Oh, what's this? A flare? Well, let's see what we get. Good evening, everybody. My name is Onepeg. Yeah, things have gotten a little bit different. We got some new lighting, and I'm rocking some glasses now. I got some gamer advantage glasses because I think the blue light's giving me headaches, but who cares? Anyway, this video is to talk about all things related to flares. A lot of people have been asking an awful lot of questions about how the flares work. See, in the start of this video, and I'll just cut to it right here, I'll just leave this B-roll footage playing as you see the crate drop in and me looting it. But the idea of this video is to just talk briefly about how flares work. See, there's two different ways, well, three really, to get supply drops. Randomly on maps, they'll just kind of appear and you'll see a supply drop arrive. Or you can call them in one of two ways. You can either have a single-use flare like you see me using in this video, or you can use the flare gun. The single-use flares like this one come in different colors: white, yellow, green, and red. White, yellow, and green, at the moment, don't do anything other than show different colors, with the white one being something that's purely for illumination and really isn't supposed to ever have a purpose. In the past, we've been told that the other flare cartridges, the signal cartridges, these single uses, will end up having purposes later on. But for the time being, the only one that calls in any planes is the red one. And the same is true for the signal pistol. It also has red, white, yellow, and green cartridges that go inside of it, but only the red one currently will call in a plane. If you get super lucky and you find a flare gun inside of a raid, that's awesome. Otherwise, Jaeger 3 will allow you to barter for it. But the barter isn't easy. The only way to get it through the barter is to have 5 of the white flares and then 1 of each of the colored single-use flares, which is not the easiest thing in the world to obtain. Also, there's about a 20-minute gap in time between when one drop got called in and when the next one can be called in. See, if you end up using a flare and then try to use another one right afterward, there's a message that will pop up on the screen saying too much congestion in the air and you have to wait for the next drop. That can take up to about 20 minutes of time. So unfortunately, these things aren't spammable, which again is something that Nikita had told us in a podcast previously. Now, as you can see at the start of this video, as the plane comes in, it drops chaff, or drops flares, however you want to refer to it as, until it gets to the point where it's about to drop the crate, and then you see it drop a large number of chaff flares and then veer off course in a wide arc. So aside from looking for the tiny black dot if you're kind of far away trying to find where the crate is going to end up, just kind of look for the large flare activity and then run to that spot. When a supply drop arrives, regardless of whether it was called in from a flare or not, because at the current time, again, flares create random crates, there are 4 types of crates that will arrive. And I want to be clear that these crates are categorical. One of them does appear to have just a random mishmash of stuff in it, kind of like a common crate of random supplies. The other 3, though, are a bit more tailored. The first one being a crate of technical items. That's where you're going to find things like military cables and military tubes, RFID readers, GPUs, technical stuff, things that are mostly utilized for like upgrading your hideout, for instance, nuts and bolts, those kinds of things. The second would be a medical crate and also provisions. So not only would you see things like AFACs and surgical kits, but you'd also see things like squash and drinks and food and sugar and stuff like that. This is also a good place to find barter items like cigarettes, toilet paper. Third is a weapons crate. This is where you find weapons, armor, wearables. The most common one to have a backpack in it, although all of the crates technically can have backpacks in them and other valuables to boot. But this one especially would have higher tier weapons. I saw an RSAS in the first one that I saw this wipe, higher tier ammunition, attachments, those kinds of things. And then obviously when it comes to the looting, you want to make sure that you get everything that you can and beat feet. Because like you can see in this video here, the person that I was dealing with decided that they wanted to start sniping at me, even though I believe that they were a scav at the time. They started trying to light me up with an SV98 from far away, and I had ended up just repositioning myself and then eating all of the stims and sprinting away so that I could get whatever I had left out. So yeah, anyway, that's what I have for this one, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was pretty short and sweet. Hopefully it got to the point kind of quickly. I appreciate all of your eyeballs. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.